I have given up on waiting for the yelling in the other room to give up to do this, so I'm staying off camera. I've got my fill of filming myself yesterday. So I actually collect copies of Black Beauty. My collection is not very big right now because copies can not be that easy to find, and I'm trying to stick to ones I find at thrift stores and secondhand bookstores. So this is one of the copies I remember having when I was younger. But this is not my copy of the Great Illustrated Classics. This is actually my mom's copy that she gave to me, and Grandma wrote in it. And I actually had one, I think it was this exact one, this one of Black Beauty with the fire, because this is the kind I remember. Or it had that same cover. And that one actually went through the wash. I had one that my grandma wrote in, and we've been meaning to replace it. We just haven't. But this is an abridged version. So it's got plenty of illustrations. And this is one of the two that I usually pick up when I want to read Black Beauty. I don't know where my personal copy of this is. I've looked everywhere. I think I might have actually packed it up and left it packed since I had 2 copies of it. And since I already showed that one, this one I received when my grandmother and her sister were going through their parents' belongings. This is an unabridged version of it. And I don't think I've actually read this particular one cover to cover at all. See, unabridged Black Beauty. And this has color illustrations. So there's, I believe that's Ginger throwing her mean breaker off her. There's James leading Beauty out of the barn fire. These are actually really pretty illustrations. I have not opened this since I received it, so this is actually the first time I'm going through it. And there's, I think that's supposed to be Beauty. It's sort of washed out. But I like all the illustrations in this, actually. And here's one I've had for a long time, actually. I found this one at a table selling secondhand books. Its cover was already busted, so I've sort of taped it back into place. It's not well put back together. Like, this was not a well taken care of book before I bought it. And I don't have the right stuff to fix the spine. But this also has colored pictures. Less sort of abstract than the other one I showed you, where it has one colored picture. But I really like the art in this one. It sort of reminds me of like cartoony, but not. And speaking of cartoony, we have, this is one of my newest finds, this one and this one. This is actually my favorite cover. I love how abstract the flame is. And one of these is from the 70s, I believe. I have not found a date. Oh, this is from the 50s. See, copyright 1958. And this one I cannot find a copyright date on. I've looked throughout the entire book. I cannot find when it's from. And I don't think this one has any illustrations in it. This is an abridged version, I believe. And I believe the comic book is the only other abridged version I own. I believe everything else is unabridged. Because I know this is unabridged. I got this with my Breyer model, Black Beauty. So yeah, everything else is unabridged. And then this one has pictures. It's just black and white. So that is, to my knowledge, the oldest copy I own is the 1958. 58 or 53. I don't remember what I just said. 58. And I already showed you all. This one's kind of dirty because I've been using it a lot and it fell out of my bag and got filthy. It doesn't have pictures either, but the print is big enough for me to see with my eyes. And lastly is this one. The cover tore. But this is a graphic novel of Black Beauty. And I have not read through this entire thing. But I think I may take this with me today and start reading through it, because if nothing else, the art is gorgeous, and anyone who can draw horses for this long, you have patience. Horses are hard to draw, and it looks pretty. I need to tape that so that doesn't tear anymore. But yeah, that's all of my copies so far. I'm still working on finding some. There is one I really want to find. It's a picture book version of Black Beauty that I had as a kid. It has a red cover with Black Beauty's head on it. I remember it looking like he was peeking out of a stall. I've been trying desperately to find it, and I can't. So that may be one I never find. And I know it may sound stupid because it's all the same book, but I like it, and the covers are pretty, and I can't have too many copies of a book. I know it's going to sound dumb, but I actually found these two on the same trip. I'm pretty sure the cashier at the thrift store thought I was crazy. I actually really like the covers. Like, I know I'm saying that repeatedly, but you can get so creative with the covers. Like, I think this is the second cover that I've seen with the fire as a backdrop, and it makes a really unique cover. But most of them, oh, and this one is actually, if you open it up, it's a whole scene, Black Beauty watching someone go into a stable. So they can get pretty creative with these covers. So I think I'll leave it on that. I'm going to put the ones that are fragile, or the ones I just don't want to lose, back up in my Cheerio cabinet. And I think I'll stick this in my bag and take it with me, because I haven't actually read through it. So I think you're coming with me.